consuming, because today is March on Monsanto, May 25th, 2013, where people from all around the world, multiple countries, are getting together and saying, you know what, we do not want GMO either in our bodies or in our countries and in our food supply. Now you might be asking, why is GMO so bad, right? Why would a company like Monsanto make something that's GMO and it be bad for us? And what are they not telling us? And why does all these things need to be labeled and or better yet, banned? So GMOs, you gotta understand that seeds, what they're doing is they're producing seeds of plants that are terminal. So you plant them in the ground 1 year, and the next year that same plant that now grew the seeds, those seeds, you can't take them and grow a second round for the next season. You have to buy seeds from the company Monsanto the next year. So it ensures that you're buying, ensures that you're a consumer, and it ensures that they're making profit off of you. Not to mention that what happens is if the company or the farmer next door doesn't, buy the Monsanto seeds, but say the next door neighbor, that farmer does, and say a seed spray blows into their property and onto their land, what happens is Monsanto representatives will go into their soil, test the plants, test the seeds or whatever that might have grown there, and if they didn't buy it, they'll say that seed is patented, and then they'll sue the small farmer and put them out of business. So that's a big problem with businesses, poor business practice, first and foremost. Now we'll start talking about the health, right? So these plants are genetically modified so that they can withstand extreme pesticides, herbicides, Roundup, Agent Orange, these crazy components that they're adding to the soil in order to prevent the, animals, insects, things like that to getting to the plants. But what happens is the plant is notwithstanding of that. That's weird in and of itself. Not to mention now you're getting those uses of the pesticides and herbicides as well. So that now when you see studies coming out where they did a rat study where 70% of the females in the study died from premature deaths, had major organ problems, and we're seeing these extreme tumors all throughout the body. The pictures are absolutely grotesque. So what happens, is in small amounts of time in a rat's life, you have to ask yourself what's happening in a human's life. You have to ask yourself, okay, you're not seeing the effects of GMO today, tomorrow, next year, but over time, just in the same way that smoking cigarettes, right? You smoke a few cigarettes, you smoke a couple packs of cigarettes, you don't get cancer immediately, but rather it's over the extent of years and years and years. You think about the industry of smoking, right? So it was only like 1912 when the first person came out and said, okay, smoking is correlated with lung cancer, and it took about, it was 1964 that the United States Surgeon General actually made a public statement linking lung cancer and smoking, and at that point now we needed to label cigarettes. All right, so that's like what happened to do the math. And a number of decades before labeling of cigarette smoking became associated with lung cancer and stuff. So how long is it going to take for us to wake up to the fact that GMOs are not okay for us? We don't understand the true implications. Our bodies were not designed to, we haven't evolved to understand how the implications of these GMO products are going to affect our bodies. Inflammation, the effects of potential getting cancer and all these chronic diseases, and how things are all cumulative and contributive to the potential of disease. So it's kind of an ongoing conversation as the studies continue to come out, as people get to understand more and more awareness. So at the very least, we're asking for labeling of GMOs, but at the very best, we're asking for the banning of GMOs, much in the way that multiple countries have done, like Peru, New Zealand, Hungary. Hungary actually irradiated 1,000 acres of GMO corn once it banned it from their country. Like, rock on, Hungary, go for it. So why is it that countries like America and Canada aren't jumping on board? You've got to ask yourself, because it's all just about profits, like really? So things to think about. I'm going to have a great article posted with more information on this subject, and get informed, know what you're eating, and choose wisely. All right, you guys.